Welcome, one and everyone, to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 365. As many in the comments have already noted.
One and everyone.
It's me.
Episode of Scotch and
There we go. Anyway, as I was saying, as many of you in the comments have noted already, this is the 7-year anniversary special. Wait, 7 years? How many years has it been? I started in 2009, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 or 8 years. I don't even know. I started the show today in 2009. So however long ago that was, that's how long it's been. I'm your neighborhood friendly, or as the fans on YouTube have corrected me to say, the friendly neighborhood Oxhorn. And here, as always, with my suspenders set to maximum stun. 9 plus 7 is 16, says Doomageddon of Silverhand. Thank you. Basic math is important. Anyway, we've got a great show for you today. As many of you have come to expect, we're going to have a fine show today. But you know what? I have been extremely busy with Vault-Tec Workshop. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The latest DLC for Fallout 4 dropped on Monday. Well, it was technically Tuesday. But I stayed up late Monday night to wait for it to drop. And I have been producing content like a content-producing machine ever since. Every day after work, I sit down and work through the night to get some new content done for my YouTube channel. I'm really excited about Vault-Tec Workshop. I've been working on a lot of new videos. I've got 3 more that I'm publishing tomorrow morning. I'm in the middle of doing my Vault 88 build, which is quite intense. That Vault, it's big. Big and intimidating. But I've noticed that as you start to build, whatever settlement you're building in, as you start to build, things shrink. Like the huge expansive space that you thought you had gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it becomes manageable. Nightlight says, so are you going to build everywhere in Vault 88? I'm going to do my very best. I've already discovered a few limitations. There are a few passages that are just too tight for any of the vault pieces to fit in, but I'm going to do my best to build in every spot. Dinosaurs says, first time ever being on one of these. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the program, Dinosaurs. Hey, Oxhorn, how are you this fine day? P.S. Stay classy, says the movie-making brothers. I'm doing very well, but I think I'm out of Scotch. Whenever fair, I've got rye whiskey. This was a gift, and this is quite a delicious whiskey that I'm very fond of drinking. Today has been a hot day here in the great state of Washington. So hot, in fact, that I've got my garage door open and my side window open, and I'm dripping sweat. Oh, man. Whew, no air conditioning in Oxhorn's office. So instead, let's cool down with some Scotch. Whiskey. The Fancy Fadger says, are you satisfied with the vault building system, or do you find add-ons do it better? Well, my thoughts are conflicted on that. I never installed any of the vault building mods for Fallout 4. So I can't compare them like you would compare apples to apples. But I can tell you that modders, with very rare exception, tend to make little mistakes here or there that make building pieces hard to work with. Now, there are some mods that are just perfect. They can predict exactly what the player wants, and they just make it perfectly. So there are a few mods that are pretty great, but Bethesda tends to make their actual building pieces pretty well designed. That said, Vault-Tec Workshop is incredibly frustrating because the pieces they obey weird rules. And Bethesda never explains to you what these rules are, and the rules are not intuitive. They don't always make a lot of sense. And then, you sometimes find ways to break the rules. You get what you want, you kind of get it to work, but Bethesda never intended it to work that way, so you don't actually learn the lesson on how the pieces are supposed to be used because you found a workaround, which just makes it that much harder to figure out how to use all the tiles. So I have been busy today working on my new vault, hoping that sometime soon I'm going to finally learn enough about it to be able to produce a video that shows you how all the pieces work. Populate the Moon says, "Hey Oxhorn, how's it been for you? Also, P.S. It's been a while since I've been here. Do you still have the meerschaum pipe from way back?" I do. I have my collection of tobacco pipes. One of them is a meerschaum pipe. It was my grandfather's, so it's my favorite. But I don't smoke pipes all that much anymore, just because they're more complicated. It takes a lot more effort to smoke a tobacco pipe than it does to smoke a cigar. With a cigar, all you got to do is cut it, light it, you're good. With a pipe, you got to assemble the tobacco, and then you've got to pack it properly in the bowl, and then you got to light it, and then you got to wait for the ash to turn white, and then you got to crush the ash and make a smooth surface. Then you got to light it again, and then you got to keep on lighting it throughout the smoking process, and it's fine for long, stormy nights in front of a campfire, or a fire in your fireplace with a good book and a glass of scotch. But when you're active and you're working, I don't have time for it. I just don't have time for it. Nayland says, "I've been seeing you a lot on Overwatch lately." I have, and my apologies to anyone who tries to contact me on Overwatch. I turned voice chat off on Overwatch long ago, for what I think should be obvious reasons. And when I'm playing the game, I get so many messages from people that I just can't respond to them. So I have a policy of not responding to them. I respond to messages during the show, but outside of the show, I don't respond to messages. It would just be too much. It would just be too much. Zalthron says, "I'm even here to play some Overwatch tonight, even though I'm still a bit sick, but you know it's the 7th anniversary of the show, so I might as well. Well, I'm glad you're on the program." I have been playing a lot of Overwatch, and the reason for that is because I love Fallout 4. I do. I really love Fallout 4, but when you sit down every day after your day job, which is already work, and you kind of want to relax, but instead you're working on a video for Fallout 4, when you finally finish that, the way to relax is to not play more Fallout 4. As much as I love Fallout 4, the way to relax... Hey, Imagine Justin! Ring-a-ding-ding, good sir. Thank you for the donation. The way to relax, the way that I relax, is to do something completely else. To just disengage from vault building and video making for a little bit. And so I've been playing a lot of Overwatch. And I love Overwatch. It's such a good game. Oh my goodness. It's giving me flashbacks of TF2. When I discovered TF2 for the first time in like 2007... 2008. It was such a good game, and I loved it. I ran around, and then I kind of lost track of TF2. I just didn't keep up with it. But now Overwatch kind of is giving me a flashback of how nice that was. And yet, of course, it's got its own feel. So we'll probably play a little bit of Overwatch today. And yet I'm also conflicted because I was in the middle of building my vault when I had to stop to do the show. Because, you know, I got to do the show. It's the 7-year anniversary episode. So part of me is like really in my vault building mode. I kind of want to get back to my vault. So I'm conflicted. I don't know what to do on this 7-year anniversary show. Maybe I'll just have to do both. I do have 2 hands. I can build a vault with this one and play Overwatch with that one. Ah! My cigar is not burning evenly. That bothers the OCD part of my personality. Southround says, "Do Overwatch." I'm here after all. Yes, Southround. We all know you're here, Southround. Eternal887 says, "Good evening, everyone. I finally got a Thursday off to see the show again live. Eternal 88 7, great to have you back on the program. We've missed you. We sure have. Doomageddon of Silverhand says, I like the music. Come on down south. It's nice and toasty. I'm from Alaska. I melt in the heat. It's bad enough in Seattle. Just do me a favor. Open up a new tab and check out temperatures in the United States of America. It's like every single state. Gosh, this autofocus thing. Sorry, YouTube viewers. You've got the autofocus thing going on right now. Sorry about that. Can I fix that? General. Gosh, I don't know how to fix it. I'll have to do it after this. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's like every single state is above 100 degrees except Washington. I'm already lucky in that this state is not getting a lot of heat, and yet I'm still melting. It's still too hot for me. Jubiel says, I still have not forgotten you for that jump scare. Oh, that was so much fun. So for those who don't know, you need to go to my new YouTube channel. And I published a video called The Creepiest Moment in Vault-Tec Workshop. And I'm not going to spoil it for you. But it was indeed creepy. I wasn't exaggerating. Based on the comments, that is the creepiest moment. People are hating me because of that. It's so great. There we go. Burning evenly. That jump scare did get me, lol, says Callman Freeman. Riley Sandrell says, what's your new channel's name? You're on it. You're talking to me on YouTube, which is the channel I was referring to. Sorry, many of you who are watching me on YouTube live right now, you're tapping into a show that I've been doing for over 7 years. And so sometimes I'll say something to my old Twitch followers, like my new YouTube channel. When you guys are on it, the place where I'm publishing my Fallout videos is the YouTube channel I am referring to whenever I mention my YouTube channel. Was that a real Easter egg in that video says Nightlight? No. Just to let everyone know. That actually is not in the game. I did that. I had to use some clever staging to get that to work. It was still fun, though. Nayland says, you're getting pretty good at the Reaper, Ox. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I didn't really know how to use the Reaper when I first started with Overwatch. I wanted to be able to be good at an offensive character, but I tried the cowboy guy. I never tried Tracer. I think I tried Tracer once, but she's just too fast and spritey for me. Too much. I can't do that. And then, I don't know. I never really tried Reaper. I tried Reaper once, and I'm like, well, I don't really like stealth characters. And he's super emo. Like, he'll sit there and say, like, out of the grave I come. Or he'll say these ridiculous, death cannot hold me. And I'm sitting there going, man, this guy is so emo. But he's fun to play. He's got the 2 shotguns. He's got a shotgun in one hand and a shotgun in another, and that's pretty sweet. I don't use his teleportability very often. I still need to practice with that. But aside from that, I'm getting pretty decent. Nayland, the Reaper Nayland says Reaper the Edgelord. Yeah, he's super edgy. He's got that skull mask. Oh man, I imagine underneath the mask, he's got like this black emo hair kind of draped over one eye and maybe a little bit of black lipstick on and makes this pout face. That's probably what it looks like without the mask. Jack Nor says the Starlight Drive-In with the movie drive mod is awesome. Also, you're an excellent commentator. Well, thank you very much. I had so much fun putting together my Starlight Drive-In revisit. When I saw that the Videos of the Wasteland mod had made an update to place projection movies in the mod, I said, oh, well, that's it. Of course I have to revisit Starlight Drive-In, because I had always been dissatisfied with my Starlight Drive-In. I always thought, well, what am I going to do with this place? It's so big, and there's a big pool in the middle of it. What am I going to do with this place? So when I first started, I just built that marketplace around there, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's... But then I finally realized, oh, I'll just turn it into a drive-in. Of course, it's the Starlight Drive-In. And that's what I did. And the buses I thought were a nice touch. It was a lot of... the DLCs make it so much better. We got the buses from Wasteland Workshop. And then, of course, mods make everything easier to do, so. Hunter Dotery. Hunter Dotery says, do you have a YouTube silver play button? And I do. It's from my old Oxhorn channel. Let me show you. It's on the wall over there. See it? By the lamp? Yeah. It's hanging on the wall. But you don't get a silver button until you get over 100,000 subscribers. And my other channel has... sorry. That's right. I've got two cameras. Let me show you guys on Twitch. It's kind of hard to see. It's by that lamp. Yeah. Anyway, I've got two channels. My old one, my Oxhorn brand movies one's got like 100 and... It's been going down because I don't make new videos there, but at one point it was at 160,000. I don't know what it's at now. And they send you a silver play button if you get 100,000 views. Well, I recently reached 21,000 views on my new channel. By the way, I started at 6. When I first started my Fallout 4 videos, I started at 6,000 subscribers. And now I'm at 21,000. You guys have been really good to me. I really appreciate it. It's growing fast, so I just need to keep on working. If I keep working, if I keep doing a video every day, it'll eventually get there. And then someday I'll have 2 silver play buttons. Of course, they give you a gold one if you reach 1 million subscribers. Someday. Hot! My finger! Riley Sandrell says 100,000 views. Did you mean subscribers? I did. Yes, I did mean subscribers. Zaltron gives us the official update. It's 134,649 subscribers on my old World of Warcraft Oxhorn Movies channel. Wow. Okay, well, it's been keeping them pretty well. That's good. Imagine Justin says, this is the 7th anniversary episode. We need something special and make it an extra long episode. Oh, okay, you're right. It is the 7th anniversary episode. We need to do something special. I don't have anything planned. I know that I'm failing you guys here, but I've been so busy with Vault-Tec Workshop and putting all of my energy into it that I didn't have anything planned for the 7th anniversary episode. So maybe I'll just make it extra long. Maybe we'll do some vault building and then do some Overwatch. Maybe we'll just do it all, right? Still so tired. Nayland says, your old videos are so good. They stand in test of time, Oxhorn. Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. Smoke 2 cigars, says the Bancy Fadger. What, at once? No, we can't do that. I'll wait till this one goes out and then I'll smoke the other one. How about that? Nice beard, Ox, says Yusuf Paleda. Why, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Do you live on the East Coast, says Arcade Rex. No, I live in Washington State. Drifter says, Ox, why do you ignore me? I could never ignore you. Look, there are... How many people are watching right now? 45? Something like that? There are 45 people watching right now, and each of them has something to say. So if I don't answer your question, please don't take it personally. It just means that I only have 2 eyes. At my best day, I can only see 2 of your comments at once. And I only have 1 mouth, so I can only respond to 1 at a time. It's basic math. Come on. Science. Hey, thanks for following, Bent2000. Apocalyptic Surgeon says, you're so jolly and just an eargasm in general. Oh, thank you. I'll drink whiskey to that. Cheers. Yuki Fox. Woo, it's good whiskey. Yuki Fox says, hey Oxhorn, I'm looking forward to your vault structure video. The new structure pieces have been driving me crazy. Tell me about it. I've been working on my vault ever since I stopped work. So for about 30 minutes. But I was working on my vault before I started the show, and my goodness, trying to get the atrium pieces to work. Like if I want a single floor atrium, with a ceiling and a roof and no other floors, it's a nightmare to get it to work. And I understand that because their logic is, well, the atrium should be 2 or 3 floors because it's an atrium. Right, and if I want to make a single floor structure, I might as well make a utility. Fine, but there are some places where you need to connect a utility room to the atrium room, but the place that you're connecting them to is only 1 story tall. It's just... I'm working out the kinks, ladies and gentlemen. I will be producing a tutorial video on the atrium pieces and all the other pieces in Vault-Tec Workshop in due time. Christopher Herring says, "Oh my god, it's Oxhorn." That's right, I am the very same Oxhorn that you are familiar with. But instead of World of Warcraft, I'm doing Fallout stuff these days. "What whiskey are you drinking today?" asks Salmonfish. Salmonfish. I'm drinking some Crown Royal Rye, Canadian Rye, Northeastern Harvest whiskey. It is doggone delicious, that's for sure. Eternal 887? Yeah, that's right. Ambargas 101 says, "Can you do some fedora tricks?" And I would, but this is not a fedora. This is a bowler hat. Or a derby, depending upon your location. Gosh. Get it right. Hey! Thanks for donating, Zekin. Pleasure to have you on the program. Yuki Fox agrees and says, "The atrium pieces are what's driving me nuts. Unfortunately, the atrium is what I'm making the main hub of my Vault 88 build." And most of us would, because the atrium is designed for large open spaces so that you can have 2, 3 different floors. So it's just a pity that those ones are so tricky to play with. The annoying thing is that Salmon is actually my real name, and it kills me slowly each time people get it wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You'll have to correct me. I don't want to get your name wrong. Ambargus 101 says, "Can I donate my friendship?" Yes, you may. Your very presence here on this chat today is all the donation you need to make, good sir. I'm just pleased to have each and every one of you here. And that's all that you ever have to do to support me. Just be here. That's all. EDM Racing Machine says, "Hey, just a suggestion for your castle. Hey, thanks for following, Alrith. Give your radio guy a little radio station." Oh, like a little radio next to him so that he can hear himself on the radio? I thought he had headphones on. Did he not have headphones on? Because if he's got headphones on, then he can already hear himself. Hey, thanks for following, Jubil. Fancy Narwhal says, "What kind of jazz music are you listening to, Oxhorn?" I'm listening to actually a family album. This is from the family band for my family that lives in Alaska. It's called the Dixie River Rats. And this was actually a practice session that they recorded many years ago, 2008, 2009. And they gave me a copy, and I've been playing it for all of my videos ever since. Oh, a radio station as in a building. You mean enclose his radio booth so that it's like a radio station. You mean the words you actually used. Right. So it was great. I should have just interpreted them better. I could do that. I think that would have probably taken up a lot of space in the middle, though. But it's certainly worth taking a look at when I do my revisit. Greg Hartung says, "Do you think we have time to engage each other in Skype calls on this 7th anniversary show?" Yeah, I mean, it is the 7th anniversary show. I don't see why we can't do that. I'm going to have to limit it to people whom I've talked with in the past, just so that I mean, we have a lot more viewers now. And we'll have to keep it quick. Oh my goodness, all the Skype. Oh, Skype, lots of Skype. Holy cow, you're all on Skype wanting to talk to me. Also, I don't think we're going to be doing video because my setup has changed a lot since the last time we did this. So I'll have to just do audio. I hope that's all right. All right. Zalthrian says, Ox, remember that one time when you said you might play Legion? Is that still a maybe? You know, we say in the tech world when we've got a big feature that all of the customers are asking for, and they say, when are you going to do this feature? When are you going to do this feature? If it's something that we don't plan on doing because we're so busy with everything else, but we also don't want to disappoint our customers, we always say 90 days. Oh yeah, we'll do that. We'll have it for you in 90 days. And so that's my answer to you. Legion? Oh yeah, I'll play that in 90 days. Sook 500 says, once you die of cancer pretty fast if you smoke cigars every day. That is the risk. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is entirely possible to die from cancer by smoking cigars. And yet, there are ways to smoke cigars responsibly. They're never safe. And I will never say that smoking cigars are safe. They're not safe. But there are ways to smoke them responsibly to mitigate the damage they can do to you. One cigar a day, which I don't smoke one a day. I smoked maybe 2 or 3 a week. But even if you were to smoke one cigar a day, that's like medium smoking, right? It's not going to harm you quite as much as, say, a pack a day, a pack of cigarettes a day. They're two completely different things. And also, you don't inhale cigar smoke. You just bring it into your mouth, taste the flavor, and expel it. And so the mouth treats smoke very differently than the lungs do. The lungs are a very spongy organ designed specifically to absorb everything, whereas the mouth isn't. So the way your body absorbs nicotine and tar is different depending on how you use the product. And that's why there are many cigar smokers who live to a ripe old age and they never get cancer. It's not anything like cigarettes. But that said, I want to emphasize the point that yes, these are dangerous. No, they're not safe. And these could lead to cancer. So it's a calculated risk. But I'm trying to smoke it in a responsible way. That's my take on the whole cigar thing. Salmonfish says, tongue cancer is actually the most common cancer in Cuba, and most researchers speculate that it's due to the cigar production in Cuba. Yeah, I'd imagine so. I watched a documentary on how Cuban... I'm gonna have to... Thank you, Alreth, for donating the $5. I'm gonna have to change that notification because it really shocks me. Whoa, somebody donated. Hey, thank you. What was I saying? Yeah, I watched a documentary on how Cuban cigars were made in Cuba, and one of the rewards that the population, the workers who produce the cigars get, is they get, like, unlimited cigars if they make them themselves. And so you'll see lots of people, at least in the 90s when this documentary was produced, lots of people on the cigar workshop floor, they'll just roll themselves a quick cigar, and they're all smoking cigars while they're making cigars. So I imagine that tongue cancer is quite a big thing in Cuba. All right, if you see me on Skype right now, and you want to have a shout out on the show, just start a call with me. We'll do one call per person who already has me on Skype, and let's keep it under, a short period of time, all right? First come, first serve. Hopefully that's not going to complicate things. We'll see. First on the program, let's see, it's Magin Justin. Hey there, Magin Justin. How are you?
Doing good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Sorry I can't do video today. I've got 2 different streams going on, but it's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, I never actually showed myself at all on the first time we actually did the video call, but now I have a camera. I can show myself.
Hey, well, that's great. And he's rocking a derby, everybody. He's rocking a derby. Looks good on you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Well, what were you doing before the show started today?
I was actually cooking. I always cook. Like, I always cook burgers, or I always cook chicken or something like that. I got some bacon. I got some burgers going right here. So I already had eaten some of it already.
Ooh, look at that. He's showing a nice, it's like a bacon sandwich. It's a bacon sandwich covered in bacon is what it is. That's epic. Yeah. Nicely done.
Yeah, I don't have any scotch on me, but I also got a soda on me, so...
Well, cheers to your soda, good sir. Bottoms up.
Cheers, good sir.
All right, well, I'm going to let you go now, Imagine Justin. Thanks so much for calling in and showing up on the 7th anniversary episode. We'll see if any other callers want to chime in.
Alrighty, stay classy, good sir.
Later, bye-bye. All right, well, thank you, Imagine Justin, for the call. Oh, who's next? Cigarox, is that you?
It's me.
Hey, Cigarox, good to have you on the program.
Can you see me?
I can't. No, I can't see you.
Oh, Lord. Let's see. Which one?
Cigarox, is that you?
There.
I hear myself, though. Hey, there he is. Hey, Cigarox, good to see you.
Yeah, look around my shoulder.
He's got a Hat the Singing Turtle plushie on his shoulder. That should be familiar to all of you World of Warcraft fans who saw my old World of Warcraft videos.
And of course.
And of course, he's growing an epic beard.
Yeah, my Zug.
He's rocking it. Looking good, sir.
And I'm still bald.
Well,
right.
hey, happens to the best of us.
And of course.
What are you smoking today?
It is probably the final Asylum 13 if the FDA had their way.
Really? Are they planning on
this was made after 2007, so that's one of the sticks that are going to be outlawed by the FDA.
They're going to be outlawed? Really?
They're going to be made anymore because they got to file papers. If you want to make it bigger, you got to file papers to make it bigger.
So just because the ring gauge is so large, they're going to ban that type of cigar? Holy cow.
It was made after 2007, so that's one of the banned items.
Telling you, Big Brother is alive and well. Ah.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do?
Yeah.
Hey, Big Stacks 2, thanks for the donation, good sir.
Oh, you should have read my little narrative.
Do you have a narrative?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you put it?
Oh, it's right at the beginning. I think you put it back on the screen.
Well, the thing is, the chat, I've got so many different chats up in front of my face these days that it's hard for me
I can't put it on YouTube because it's very limited, so all I have is Twitch.
All right, I'm looking at the Twitch chat right now.
Okay, let me copy it, zap it down, zap it over here, and there we go. And voila.
I still don't see anything. Did you get moderated by Nightbot?
Nope. Or should I read it?
The last comment that I see is from Robin, who says, "What's the cigar and drink tonight?"
I guess it must be too long for you to see it, but it says...
Read it for me, please.
It instantly started off on July 30, 2009 as a novelty act with a few people, a cramped basement apartment, and some pipe smoke. As time grew on, the audience and Zug grew. The layers changed. An appearance with Jimmy Fallon. Pipe smoke was replaced with cigar smoke, and the Scotch began to flow. Things seemed to be in favor with Osborne until it all hit the fan. Smoking bans, pen attacks, internet issues, a burnt copy of the Tales of Coralon Hastings,
and hippie
a wife, 2 kids, maybe even a dog, and of course, Hippie Tom tried to break up the show and its host. But Oxford keeps on puffing and drinking. Tonight, watch and see how this all came about 7 years later on episode 365 of Behind the Rings.
Well, nicely done, Cigarox. Thank you for that. That was a blast from the past. It was a walk through time, is what that was.
Yeah, that's all right. Episode 1, so that's how all the inspiration came.
That's right. The very first episode, I was in a garage like this. It wasn't this garage. It was a different garage. And that episode lasted like 3 hours. I didn't know what I was doing. I cringed when I watched that episode, the very first episode, but it's history.
And of course, most people don't realize that Tuesday you're going to become the ripe old age of 35.
That's right, 35.
You're halfway to retirement.
Halfway to retirement. Wow, holy cow, I'm halfway there.
Anyway, we're spending 4 minutes on me. Let's go with somebody else.
All right, I'll let you go. Well, thank you, Cigarox, for chiming in. Pleasure to have you on the program.
All righty.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye.
What are your thoughts on COD 4 Remastered? Asks the general gaming dude. Sorry, I just got interrupted. I'll have to answer that one later. Hey, Greg Hartung is on the program today.
How are you, good sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing well. As you can see, as I've mentioned, I've retired my little fedora.
Oh, have you? Okay.
It's something a little near and dear to me.
So that's a baseball cap with the Horde symbol on it. That is pretty epic, good sir.
You bet. So, normally I'd say hi and how you're doing, whatever. But you said something now that offended a friend of mine.
Here we go.
And he is deeply shocked and appalled at your brash little comment.
I tend to do this. I just offend everybody. That's what I do. What I say?
I think you've gone too far.
I'm
you
waiting.
apologize to Chibi Reaper this instant.
Did I offend the Reaper by calling him emo?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And he is. You can't see it, but he is crying behind his mask.
I know. You guys watching right now, he's showing me his little Reaper doll. It's a little figurine. Sorry, not a doll. Figurine. Action figure. I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah,
it's an action figure.
It is figurine. Thank you very much.
Figurine, not a doll. Okay. It's sorry, the Reaper. Didn't mean to call you emo behind your mask, even though, according to Greg, you are crying behind it. So.
Death walks among you. No, he means all is forgiven. Okay.
Oh, all is forgiven. Okay.
Yep. He's forgiven you. He's forgiven you.
As long as I have Reaper's forgiveness, I can die a happy man.
Good to know. But that aside, so all is well. I can see you mentioned that it's pretty hot over in Seattle. So, welcome to my world. It's basically the same here. I feel like that's kind of like how that transpired when I was there, that it was nice and sunny and not too cloudy and dreary.
Yeah, it was a hot day when you came. So for those who don't know, he actually showed up and guest starred on the show once. He came and joined us for an episode of Scotch and Smokers.
It was glorious. And it was, again, like as I've mentioned on, I posted something on the Facebook group that I inadvertently took part in a test of endurance. That it just excuse me, that I just had no idea that it would just be in a tiny room, nailed windows shut,
right,
and just smoke filling the air. But I survived. That's all that counts. And
that was my last studio, yeah.
But I do hope to come down there again. Well, I wouldn't say soon because we have no plans to go up there, but maybe again someday, because I actually did enjoy my trip to Seattle. It was a very unique town.
That's a very pleasant way of putting it.
Yeah, to put it in a pleasant way. But all in all, I very much would like to come up there and be a guest host again, and probably I would love to beat you in Hearthstone face to face, and mate full of Hartung face to face, and knowing just saying like. Just in the flesh, just for a treat, or for your displeasure, whatever.
I'm sure we'd all love that. You know what? You'll make your way up here again. Don't you worry. And when you do, you're more than welcome to join me on the show.
Good to know. Thank you. All right, I'll let you go. I don't want to hog all the time in the world and let others have their chance.
All right, sounds good.
Happy 7th anniversary, by the way. That's quite a feat. 7 years.
I know.
7 long years. And I hope 7 more will come your way on this fine, fine show.
I sure hope so, too. Thank you very much, Greg. Always a pleasure to see you.
No problem. I will see you in Overwatch.
See ya. All right. Wow. We're getting all the familiar faces on the show today. Arcaday Rex says, I used to watch Frasier all the time. Frasier's a good show. I like that show. It's been a while since I've seen it. I know it's on Netflix, but man, I haven't pulled it up. I've been watching a lot of Columbo on Netflix. Have you guys seen Columbo? I'm rediscovering it. I remember when it aired in the early thousands and 90s, but hey, the Fancy Badger's calling. Is this the Fancy Badger?
Could it be the one and only Oxhorn? Yes, it is. I am Fancy Badger.
Well, pleasure to have you on the program, Fancy Badger. It's good to hear you in the flesh, so to speak.
I know, it's been quite some time since the last anniversary episode, I think.
That has been quite some time. What have you been up to?
Right now, I'm just doing some work on tonight's smoke shit, but other than that, you know, the mundane stuff, just applying for colleges, getting into graphic arts. Really just, summer things to get back into school. But, I like to spend my Thursday nights, every night I come here to your show, and I enjoy Scotch and smoking. It's really helps make the week a lot better. Oh, and Salpion wanted me to say that he is awesome.
Gavin, come here. Sorry, my son got loose. Gavin! Hey, buddy, come here. What are you doing? Are you okay?
Yep.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Mama will come in a minute. Mama will come. Come here. Come here. It's all right. Oh. All right. So my little boy. My little boy.
Gavin.
He got loose. Say hi to Fancy Badger. Say hi to everybody watching.
Can you say Badger?
For those worrying, my cigar is over in the open window, so there's no smoke down here. And he decided to open the front door and come on in and say hi to the show. Can you wave? Hi. Say hi. Hi to the people watching. You want to go to
That's
Mama?
just adorable.
No.
What, you want to watch TV on the monitor?
Yep.
No, you can't watch TV on the monitor. You got your iPad with you. Hey, can you go to Mama?
Yep.
Okay, go to Mama,
Big
all right?
Blackie.
You can take your big blankie, but you have to go to Mama because Daddy's busy. Okay, love you. Go to Mama. Get your blanket and go up the big stairs. Take your blankie. Take your big blankie. Don't forget your big blankie. Yep, there you go. This little kid, he's getting good at opening doors, and he wants to come down and say hi to Daddy sometimes, and that's normally fine, but not when I'm smoking my cigar, as you can imagine. We don't want.
Oh,
we don't
yeah,
want
I
the boy-
understand.
Is it stuck? You need help opening it? All right. This is the epitome of live television, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. I got it. Oh, hold on. I got it. Do you need a key?
Yep.
All right, well, we're going to have to go. Nope, there we go. Go on up. You need to lock the front door. He went through the front door and around. Can you please lock it and put the baby thing on? Okay. Oh, my goodness. Well, hey, it's the 7th anniversary show, so of course Gavin's got to have his own little cameo. Come on the program and say hi to everybody. You still there, Fancy Badger?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, that's cool. Have you been playing any Overwatch recently?
No, I actually haven't played since the open beta. I plan to upgrade my PC in the upcoming month and get it, so hopefully I'll be able to face you on the battlefield once again for some Overwatch.
Well, that would be a lot of fun, and I'll be looking forward to that day.
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right, Mr. Fadger or Badger. Thanks for coming on the program, and you stay classy, good sir.
Have a great night, Doc. Stay classy as always.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you go. Things don't always go according to plan when you do a live streaming show. To answer your question about whether or not Call of Duty 4, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I don't keep up with all of the games that are coming out, and Call of Duty is one of those games that I haven't played in a long time. I said Call of Duty 4, didn't I? That shows just how long it's been since I've played a Call of Duty. The last one I played was Call of Duty 4, and it was a lot of fun. There are a couple of games that are coming out. No Man's Sky looks really good. I might play a little bit of that. All right, last call for Skype calls. I'm going to be shutting down Skype in just a bit. You look Amish, says Riley. And then Arcade Rex says, do Amish people drink? There are a couple of things that Amish people don't do. Number one, they don't drink. And number two, they really don't use technology. And I'm a gamer. So no, I'm not Amish. Also, one way to tell an Amish person from just a regular bearded person is that the Amish don't have a mustache. That's right, the Amish shave their mustaches off. The reason for that is because they are pacifists by nature, regardless of what the reality shows teach you. And back in the day, mustaches were seen as part of the military officer class. If you were in the military, you had to grow a mustache. In fact, the military individuals only stopped growing mustaches in around World War I because gas masks didn't adhere to the face correctly. They needed to shave the mustache so that gas masks would fit correctly. And ever since then, the military has been clean shaven. Salmon Fish says, yo, Dr. Ox is officially one of my favorite YouTubers now. Thank you, thank you. That sounds like my rapper my rapper alter ego. I almost said rapper Dr. Evil. Yo, 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 I'm Dr. Ox. Does that not work? No? Should I stop rapping? Yeah, no. Do you like the Vault-Tec DLC? Asks Kaz Ewell. And I do indeed like the Vault-Tec DLC. There are a few frustrations here and there, and as always, Bethesda doesn't release it with a manual, so you kind of got to figure things out yourself. But I am really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. Zalthron says, Dr. Ox is in the house! And yes, I am. That's me. Drifter Xvi says, here I am, waiting for those PS4 mods. I know, and the last word that we have heard on PS4 mods is that they have been delayed indefinitely. Which, if, you know, people use the word indefinitely to mean canceled. So, my thinking is that there has been some sort of Sony conflict where Sony is just making it difficult for Bethesda to get their mods out. So that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Juicehead says that Pete Hines implied that it's Sony. Yeah, I heard the same thing, so... Sorry, PS4 players, I really am bummed about that. There are so many mods out there, many of the ones that I review, that the modders say, hey, we would love to get these on the PS4. They already have them on the Xbox, but it's just Sony kind of dragging their feet. Which is kind of sad, yeah. Cigarox says, I forgot to say that I finally saw an episode of Game of Thrones. Well, you've got one on me. I haven't seen any episodes of Game of Thrones yet. And people tell me I gotta see it. You know, it's one of the weirdest things. Like, I've been in the fantasy, sci-fi, video game geek culture for a very, very long time. Back before fantasy was cool. And nowadays, I'll go to... Back when I went to the office every day for work, I work remote now, but back when I went to the office every day for work, I would go to work, and then all of my young hipster coworkers would go, hey, did you see the latest episode of Game of Thrones? And I'm like, oh, you know, I don't watch a lot of TV these days. And they're like, oh. And that ends the conversation, right? And I find that I went on a business trip years ago. It was back in 2014... or 2013, I went to Amsterdam on a business trip, and I went with 3 or 4 other coworkers, and we all went out for this dinner in downtown Amsterdam, and it was the perfect opportunity to take in the city and look at the beautiful sights. And while we're sitting there, my boss and all my other coworkers spent 2 hours, 2 godforsaken hours talking about Game of Thrones. I'm like, we're in Amsterdam. Let's talk about the city. Let's talk about what we're going to do next. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And they're sitting there talking about Game of Thrones? I have nothing against Game of Thrones. Sure, fine. But if I'm going to go someplace that I'm never going to see again, I'm not going to sit there wasting my time talking about a TV show. And I also don't understand why young millennial hipsters are obsessed with Game of Thrones, this strange fantasy epic. Whatever, I'm going to stop being a curmudgeon. I'll get off the lawn chair and stop yelling at the kids that get off my lawn. And we'll move on with the show. How about that? Zakoshi! Zakoshi says, never shave the beard. It would erase the illusion. Illusions are part of my life. Everything I have and own is built on illusion. The beard is part of that. It's part of my illusion. It's part of my act. It's part of my set bonus. And I would never shave it. Mr. Lasland says, what's your favorite Fallout faction? That's easy. That's going to be the Minutemen. The Minutemen, in my mind, are really the only truly good faction. The others are good in certain ways, but they're all laced in their own politics and evils and so on and so forth. The Brotherhood of Steel, their big weakness is their bigotry against super mutant ghouls and synths. That, I call that a weakness because it does actually make their faction weaker. Like, they're so obsessed with that hatred towards synths, for example, that they'll even eliminate members of their own faction who otherwise would be hard-working soldiers just to have the purity that they look for. And that makes them weak. The Institute is more concerned with their own selfish scientific experiments than they are about the people of the Commonwealth. And yes, one could say, oh, well, the Institute is mankind's greatest hope for survival. And I don't buy that at all, because what experiments have the Institute done? Okay, sure, they did one experiment on growing better crops at the Warwick Homestead. All they got out of that was a giant pumpkin. And if you're going to point to that as an example for why the Institute is the greatest benefit of mankind, sorry, I'm not convinced. Yes, they have impressive technology, but really what they've done with that technology is they've created sense, and they've created teleportation. So when it comes to travel, sure, they can do great things with technology. But it's not that technology is invented, it's how you use it. Like, you could use that technology for a great deal of evil. For, like, I don't know, zapping your synths into Diamond City so that they can go on a killing rampage, right? So I think that the Institute is really selfish. They're more concerned with their own scientific experiments than they are with the actual well-being of individuals in the Commonwealth. And then the Railroad, which is the faction that I sided with my main, they're good, but they have an unnecessary focus on synths. And I realize that, yes, somebody has to be concerned with freeing the synths. If nobody's going to do it, let the Railroad do it. That's fine. But sometimes they do so at the expense of the common man. And this comes into play when you are with Desdemona, and she asks you who you should side with, the Minutemen or the Railroad. And if you say you want to side with the Minutemen, they don't try to kill you or anything like that, like some of the other factions would. But Desdemona expresses her disappointment with you, and she even goes as far to say that Preston and the other Minutemen are part of the problem. When in reality, if the reverse happens, if the Brotherhood of Steel sends you to kill the Railroad, and you happen to have Preston Garvey with you, Preston actually stops you and says, you're not going to kill the Railroad, are you? The Railroad is a good cause. You see the imbalance there? The Railroad is so focused on their own goal that they're going to kind of be condescending towards all the other factions. Whereas the Minutemen are only concerned with the well-being of the Commonwealth, and if the Railroad is going to help with that, they like the Railroad, and they don't want to see the Railroad destroyed. So there's a little bit of a difference there between those two factions, and that's why I say the Minutemen is the best faction, and they're the ones that I side with. Riley Sandrell says, but they're just robots. The synth, and yeah, you're right, they are just robots. But here's the thing: if this game were taking place in the real world, I don't believe we'll ever get to the point in reality where we create an artificial intelligence that is sentient. Because so far, we've only been able to create something that can respond to commands. It can't operate outside of the parameters of its coding. But in fantasy, in science fiction fantasy, where you can create a robot that can operate with true free will, that can make decisions outside of its programming, then what you've done is you've stepped from a simple robot into something that has a soul. And so in a fantasy world where synths have souls, they're just like humans and they should be preserved, even if they were created by other human beings. Now, like I'm saying, in real life, of course, I don't think that there will ever be a robot that could be equaled to a human, and so I don't think that they should ever have the same status. But in science fiction fantasy, in this world, I do think that these synths are represented as having souls and represented as having unique individuals. You see this with the synth that replaced Roger Warwick. He shows compassion. He considers his adopted family to be his own. You see this with synths that have had their minds wiped. They revert to a very human state where they just don't know who they are. They don't even know that they're synths, and they operate like other human beings. They don't operate like deprogrammed robots. That's my argument there. DJ says, is your Fallout experience limited to Fallout 4? No, I played Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, both great games. And that's one of the reasons I was kind of bummed with the way that they presented the Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 4. Because I really liked the Brotherhood of Steel in both Fallout 3 and New Vegas. I thought they were great factions. I wanted to side with them. I wanted to use their power armor. But in Fallout 4, they're just so focused on their cause. This is one thing. If you ever find a faction, or just in real life, if you ever see a politician or you find a group and they're so focused on their cause that that's all they can think about, if they're so focused on the purity of the movement that that's all they can think about, then that's a bad group to associate with, because it blinds them to everything else that's going on around them. Yes, the Minutemen are concerned with arming themselves and repairing the castle, but their primary concern is just making sure that human individuals have the freedom to plant crops, to build houses, and to sleep and wake up the next day. That's really what their focus is. The Brotherhood of Steel and all the other factions are so focused on the purity of their own causes that they're blinded to everything else. To the point, to the extreme in the Brotherhood of Steel, for example, that they even sacrifice their own members for the purity of the cause, which is a bit of a bummer. Waffle 6. I'm not getting into politics here on Scotch and Smoke Rooms. We don't do politics here. I'm just talking about the video game, just to make clear. All right, what time is it? It's 8 o'clock. Tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really itching to play some Overwatch, and I hope you'll join me. So what we do here at Scotch and Smoke Rings is at the end of every program, we transition to Overwatch. I'll stop my YouTube stream, but everyone is free to join me on Twitch, and I continue to play with the fans in Overwatch. So those of you who are on YouTube will be ending in a few minutes, but you're welcome to join me on Twitch, where we'll play some Overwatch together. EGRLDM says, the Fallout 4 Brotherhood of Steel was the same as New Vegas, and they have always been fully concerned with their own goals. The Fallout 3 version was a branch of them, off the main Brotherhood of Steel concerned with helping people. I hear you, and yet the Fallout 4 faction, the Fallout 4 version is very different. And I don't remember where, but I remember reading in one of the quests that I did that Elder Maxon took his wing of the Brotherhood of Steel and moved them to the Commonwealth because he had a radical revision of how the Brotherhood of Steel should act. The Brotherhood of Steel has always been very focused on technology. They've thought technology was evil, and they wanted to hoard pre-war technology to keep regular people safe, to keep technology from harming other people. But Elder Maxon has taken that to one extra step. He's now kind of roping human beings and sentient beings into this idea that technology is evil. Instead of hoarding technology. He's taking that one step further and killing synths, because synths are technology. He's not stopping to think, well, what is this synth doing? Is this synth just a simple farmer? Or am I just killing this synth because he was created by human beings? He sees super mutants as an abomination because they're anything other than human, and he's not stopping to think, well, is it possible for a super mutant to not be a mindless killer? We see 3 examples in Fallout 4 where there are super mutants who are not mindless killers. Strong, of course, well, he's kind of a mindless killer. But then there's the scientist in that cave in the crater. I forget his name. And then there's the super mutant in Far Harbor, who he's fully super mutant. And then if you go to the Vim factory, you can see his messages on the terminals where he starts to question himself, and he's going, "Wait a minute, why are we killing everybody that comes into this factory?" It's so funny to watch a super mutant start to second guess his super mutant instincts. He's like, why are we killing these people? Why are we eating these people? He's starting to have his own independent thoughts. And then we find out that he breaks away from the super mutants and becomes Eric, the Houndskeeper, whom you buy hounds from in the Fallout 4 expansion. And he's a docile super mutant with his own mind. So that proves that it's possible for super mutants to become humane, and therefore they're not necessarily need to be killed. And then the Brotherhood of Steel also wants to kill all ghouls. And ghouls are just humans who have been irradiated. Now, feral ghouls, sure, they need to be killed because their minds have been rotted. But he would even want to kill ghouls like Hancock, who is, again, just a man of his own mind. He's a human being just like everyone else. And he's just simply irradiated, right? And that's why the faction of Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 4 is very different from the ones from the other games. They've taken the ideology of the Brotherhood of Steel and stepped it one step further to be unacceptable, in my opinion. That said, I do have a Brotherhood of Steel alt, and he's a lot of fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to move on to playing Overwatch soon, so give me your smoke ships now. We'll officially end the program and then transition into playing some Overwatch, all right? Eric says, I don't understand the appeal of cigars, to be honest. That's okay. I don't understand the appeal of hummus and tofu turkeys. But to each his own. No shame. The Bancy Fadger has a smoke ship. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oxhorn and the fans build up an entrepreneurial empire through Elf Soul Whiskey, Mulgore Leaf cigars, and bowler hats manifested from Oxhorn's own existence. Wow, I've got magic powers now, ladies and gentlemen. The fans then rent out an antique vessel for a live Scotch and smoke rings. The festivity was interrupted by elven pirates. The hippies attempted to raid the ship, but they were scared away after seeing the meal set before the fans. Delicious meats cut up by Genji, the finest of poultry and cheeses, and not an avocado to be seen. Ooh, I hate avocado. Yeah. As the cowards swim away, the fans unite each smoke ship from the past 7 years into an unstoppable force to flatten the elves. Before the day's end, Greg challenges Ox to a Hearthstone match, which results in him pulling a real-life Hartung, making his escape on Fancy Badger's flying penny farthing. Nicely done, good sir. Nicely done. Drifter Xv says, psst. Oh, that's not what he was asking. Oh, my Twitch. Okay. My Twitch is just Scotch and Smoke Rings, all one word. Scotch and Smoke Rings, all one word. Imagine Justin says, this is his smoke ship, he says, Oxhorn, Staghorn, and Mortus on an empty floating bottle of Scotch, roaming the ocean near Seattle until Lieutenant Colonel Virtue comes by, saying, Well, hello there, my good friends. I have been searching all over for you guys. The three stared back, waving at him with a smile, and Oxhorn spoke back. It's good to see you as well. What are you doing out here? And most important, how did you guys get here? Without saying a word, Virtue had the tin where the guys flew out and tossed it to them. The pie tin glowed brightly and sucked our heroes in as Virtue followed through. After hours of going through multicolored realms, the gang was thrown back into the world of Azeroth. Once the three got up, they were greeted by everyone else who they met along their journey, along with the elves they hated. Whoa, guys, what's the occasion? I don't know who said that, so I couldn't do the voice. Virtue laughed out, conjuring a ship. Oh, that's Lieutenant Colonel Virtue? Okay. Whoa, guys, what's the occasion? Virtue laughed out, conjuring a ship made of smoke, as it turned into a flying zeppelin with tables full of food from We Eat Flesh, bottles filled with scotch, and let's not forget the Mighty Morphin Midget Gnomes dancing on top. Everyone in the crowd would then yell out, Happy birthday and 7th anniversary, Oxhorn. Oxhorn and the gang began to dance along with everyone in the crowd as fireworks bursted in the sky, lighting up the night. Thank you very much for that, Imagine Justin. So many of you might be lost. That was filled with references to my old World of Warcraft movies from way back in the day. Voodoo Lounge says, what side did you join in Fallout 3, Oxhorn? That was so long ago that I don't even rightly recall. List the factions for me and remind me. It might have been the Brotherhood. I'm not sure. It was a very long time ago. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your smoke ships today. Pay close attention. I'm going to blow a smoke ship like I do every day or every week. And then we will transition to Twitch. Remember, my Twitch is Scotch and Smoke Rings, all one word, twitch.tv/Scotch and Smoke Rings. So join me there. All right, here we go. Ah! Did you see it? It was there for a brief moment, but we saw clearly both of those smoke ships together. It was Madge and Justin and the Fancy Badger, their imaginations painted in smoke in two separate scenes right before your eyes. I know. Sometimes I amaze even myself. It's a gift, really. It's a gift. Big Stacks 2 says, 7th anniversary. Whoa! Indeed. A double smoke ship, says Zalthrion. It's a gift. What can I say? They'll hang that on the Louvre? That's right. Someday my smoke ships will be interpreted as fine art. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you so much for coming to this 7-year anniversary episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. But the fun is not yet over. We are going to be continuing immediately following the end of this broadcast on Twitch, where we will play some Overwatch together. So I hope you all enjoy Overwatch. And if you want to stay tuned, please join me there. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, I shall bid you adieu. Thank you so much for following Zexva. Thank you, everybody, for following and subscribing and donating. Your subscriptions keep my Twitch and YouTube channels alive, so thank you so very much. You are the ones who are keeping me afloat here, ladies and gentlemen. You make it all possible. So until then, folks, I will see you later, and be sure that each and every one of you stays classy.